In 1978, a young married couple built their third home in central Utah. It was their dream home. It had 6,400 square feet, cathedral beam wood deck ceilings, and a master bedroom deck where they could watch the deer and elk bed down in the scrub oak below them. They thought they had the world by the tail. 2 years later, in 1980, a bad recession hit America, and that year in Houston, Texas, during the energy crisis, 16,000 homeowners lost their homes in foreclosure. Now, 16,000 people didn't all of a sudden become bad people. They just couldn't make their mortgage payments. Well, the recession rippled throughout America and didn't exclude Utah. This couple had three negative things happen to them that they never imagined would occur simultaneously, and they found themselves without an income. So they got behind on their mortgage payments. Fortunately, they owned a rental duplex and they sold it and took the equity and brought the delinquent mortgage current. Then they got behind again. They owned a timeshare at a ski resort that they sold for triple what they had paid for it, and they were able to bring the delinquent mortgage current a second time. But realizing they had no other liquid assets and not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel in the foreseeable future, they decided to sell their house. They listed their home for sale for $295,000 because it had appraised 4 years earlier for $305,000. No takers. When supply is greater than demand, real estate values plummet. They quickly lowered the price several times to $285,000, $275,000, $265,000, then down to $225,000 and even $195,000, but to no avail. They will never forget the day they went to the county courthouse in Provo, Utah, and on the steps at the sheriff's auction, they watched their beautiful home get auctioned off in foreclosure proceedings. My wife and I were that couple in 1982. The experience of losing a house in foreclosure was a defining moment for me as a financial strategist and retirement planning specialist. What have been some of the results of this defining moment? I no longer take all financial advice for fact, and you shouldn't either. I look through the lens of my own experience because a truth is just a belief until you experience it. I don't follow the herd with regard to my money, and I don't pay much attention to the mainstream media because they are part of the herd. You see, I've discovered that the three key elements of any and all prudent investments are: 1, liquidity, the ability to access your money when you need it; 2, safety of principal; and 3, rate of return. And real estate equity failed all three. Now I keep all of my financial assets positioned with liquid access, safe, and earning predictable, tax-favored rates of return, so that no matter what happens in the stock market or real estate market, I don't lose. This laser focus that I developed has helped me and thousands of others I've shared this wisdom with to not lose during tough times. LASER is an acronym that means liquid assets, safely earning returns. This defining moment also taught me that traditional financial planning methods were not the best way to go. You see, IRAs and 401ks may be a good way to go, but they are a far cry from the best way to save for retirement. In the worst 12-year period since the Great Depression, 2000 through 2012, when most Americans following the herd had their money in traditional IRAs and 401ks in the market, they saw their retirement savings nest egg lose about 40% twice during that period. For example, many couples had worked their lifetime and had accumulated $1 million in their IRAs and 401ks. From 2000 to 2003, that $1 million nest egg dwindled in value to $600,000. It took 4 more years for it to recover from the loss and come back to break even. They had to put off retirement 7 years. Then a second time, in 2008, they saw that nest egg drop in value another 40% in one single year. They felt like they had lost their future. In comparison, many clients of our firm more than doubled their money during that time period, tax-free, using indexing, a strategy I use and teach. I invite you to learn how to make yourself immune from taxes going up, have inflation work for you instead of against you, and protect yourself from market volatility and economic uncertainty.